It took 15 years for me to write a #1 song. Actually, it took 40 minutes to write a #1 song, but it took 15 years to know how to write it.
We used to get a little respect. Now we're lucky if we even get to climb up in your truck, keep our mouths shut and ride along, be the girl in a country song.
Hey y'all, I'm here at the 1865 Club in Nashville today with my buddy Aaron Scherz. Aaron, thanks for being here today.
Thanks for having me.
Your first hit.
Right.
Girl in a Country Song. It's kind of a song that was a response to the current state of the music biz when you wrote it.
It was Maddie's idea. I think it was actually Maddie's dad's idea. Because he said, man, I'd sure hate to be one of those girls in a country song because they never have any real clothes to wear and they're always barefoot. So we sat there and we were, like you said, aiming right at bro country, because bro country was just like the thing.
Yeah.
I mean, it was hot. Like the Florida Georgia line started it with Cruise. And then once Cruise hit, it was like every song was about the exact same thing.
Yeah.
You know, it was getting kind of tiresome and the girls were kind of getting a little fed up with it. So we wrote it, turned it in, and then the record label was immediately like, this is a grenade.
In a good way?
I think initially it was not a good thing, because you got to remember, Big Machine is the home of Florida Georgia Line.
Oh yeah.
And then you have this, you know, no-name duo who's coming at them, who's coming at their cash cow. You can't do that. So we turned it in and they did a showcase for Scott. The whole staff of Big Machine's like in the back of the publishing company where there's an old studio, and they play it, and everybody's kind of like holding their breath, like is Scott gonna laugh? Like, is this? And then he laughs, and then everybody else can laugh, you know? And then literally after they played it, they were like, we'll sign you. That's a hit. That's the song that got them their deal.
You hit a nerve with people.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure with women that love country, they're like, I love country, but yeah, hey, wait a minute. I'm not just an object here.
But it took 15 years for me to write a #1 song. Actually, it took 40 minutes to write a #1 song. But it took 15 years to know how to write it.
Dude.
Literally, my kids are going to college on that song, both of them. In-state. Let's not get crazy.
In-state. Let's be reasonable here.
Yeah. So we kind of loaded up a loop. Is that 74 beats per minute, you know, check.
Yeah.
And I just started like riffing on the guitar, and the first line just fell out. Well, I wish I had some shoes on my 2 bare feet. And then we just started throwing lines out, and we were just cracking each other up. Like, how ridiculous can we get with this song? But then when the chorus came around and the line, all we're good for is looking good for you and your friends on the weekend, nothing more. I was like, that slaps. Like, that's hooky. I was like, okay, we might be onto something here. You know, I'm thinking this, not really saying it but I'm like, this could be something. And then when you hit that hook, it landed so perfectly. You know how, you know that feeling.
Oh yeah.
When you write a song and it just lands right. You're like, well, that's Simone Biles in the Olympics right there, just sticking that landing.
Stuck the landing. It's almost like the song already existed and you just wrote it down.
That's right. It took us less than an hour to write it.
The whole thing.
The whole thing.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I wish I had some shoes on my 2 bare feet. And it's getting kinda cold in these painted on cut-off jeans. I hate the way this bikini top chafes. Do I really have to wear it all day? Yeah, baby, I hear you over there on your tailgate whistling, saying, hey girl, but you know I ain't listening. 'Cause I got a name, and to you it ain't pretty little thing. Hottie, oh baby, it's driving me redneck crazy. Being the girl in a country song, how in the world did it go so wrong? Like all we're good for is looking good for you and your friends on the weekend, nothing more. We used to get a little respect, now we're lucky if we even get climb up in your truck, keep our mouths shut and ride along, be the girl in a country song. shaking my money maker ain't never made me a dime. And there ain't no sugar for you in this shaker of mine. Tell me one more time, you gotta get you some of that. Sure, I'll slide on over, but you're gonna get slapped high. These days it ain't easy being that girl in a country song. How in the world did it go so wrong? Like all we're good for is looking good for you and your friends on the weekend, nothing more. We used to get a little respect. Now we're lucky if we even get climb up in your truck, keep our mouths shut and ride along. Be the girl in a country song. Yep, yep, yeah, baby. Oh no, Conway and George Strait never did it this way back in the old days. Oh yo, we ain't a cliche, that ain't no way to treat a lady like a girl in a country song. How in the world did it go so wrong? Like all we're good for is looking good for you and your friends on the weekend, nothing more. We used to get a little respect. Now we're lucky if we even get to climb up in your truck, keep our mouths shut and ride along. Down some old dirt road we don't even want to be on, and be the girl in a country song. I ain't your 10-leg Juliet. That is not my kind of night, and that is not how I roll, Mr. Bryan. Slide my little fine what up in your truck? I'm not that kind of girl, Mr. Rice. Those are some alternate endings we wrote that they wouldn't let us use. So we had to just settle for, can I put on some real clothes now? Oh no.
We go way, way back, don't we?
About as far back as I can remember, yeah.
Now, when did you come to Nashville?
June 7th, 1999.
And I think I met you at your very first job that you had here working for Ron Huntsman.
That's right.
It was a publishing company.
Well, it was a radio company.
Yeah.
And then he started the publishing company when I was working there, because I got an offer to go sign with another company, and he wanted to keep me working there, so he started the publishing company. So I'd work in the radio stuff in the morning, and then I'd do co-writes in the afternoon.
I remember we met through a guy named Jeff Batson,
yeah.
And that was 2001. And I remember he told me he had this song idea called The Rock that he was working on with you.
That's right.
And so he said, maybe you can help us. So I came in to write with y'all. And I remember at that time I was working on the songwriting with Private Malone. And I remember playing you the lyrics to it.
Yeah.
And I remember you going, screw this song, The Rock, I want to write that.
You're right.
I was like, sorry, man, I'm
song.
already writing that with Wood Newton.
Yeah.
But tell me what ended up happening with The Rock.
Well, it ended up being recorded by Tracy Lawrence. It only took a decade of sitting around Nashville,
Yeah.
and then went on to be Grammy nominated on his album called The Rock.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So it was great. That was a productive time.
It was.
You know.
And Tracy's one of my heroes of,
me too.
Of country music. Like, first concert I ever went to was the two Tracys. It was Tracy Lawrence and Tracy Byrd.
Yeah.
He went on to record another one of my tunes too.
He did? I didn't know that. Which one?
Called Cloud of Dust.
Really?
It's on one of his records. It's cool to have your childhood, heroes record your music. That's super neat.
Oh, it's the best.
Yeah.
So you lived in Nashville, and you're writing songs, you're working for Ron Huntsman, you're getting a few things going on.
And then I went to Encore Entertainment, which is where I met Liz Marin and Butch Baker. They were running it back in the day. Keith Follissey had just left. Then after that, I went to Elevation Music, which was a company that Mike Molinar and Martha Earls had just started. That was their first publishing company. Then we were bought by a guy, and then it was Benchmark. Then we were bought by another guy. Then it was Wide Open Music. Then I went to Live Right Play. And then for the past 6 years, I've been on my own. And now I'm back at Wide Open. So it's just a wild sort of this kind of thing.
Guy from out of town is asking an established Nashville guy, do I really need to move to Nashville? Mm-hmm. Says, well, I don't know if you need to move to Nashville, but if you want to catch a lot of fish, it helps if you live right next to the lake. Must be present to win.
That's right.
Yeah, you're proof of it. 15 years of grinding, and man, finally, you know, it happens for you.
Yeah, 15. I mean, that's wild to say. It's like,
Yeah.
who does something for 15 years just keeping at it?
Yeah.
You know, and
Well,
songwriters.
And you put a lot of faith into Maddie and Tae, working with them all that time with really no guarantee. It's not like we get paid to write with these new artists, but you do it because you're invested and you believe in them.
That's right.
And you believe something's going to happen down the road.